Hey guys! I'm Heather.
And I'm Emma.
And welcome back to our pilot episode of On the Scene, reflecting on Mississippi's top stories.
Super pumped.
We
got our trailer done and we're excited to be here for the first official episode.
Yes, guys, it's been such a busy week just trying to get everything together, but you know what? We did it, and we are so happy. We hope you guys enjoyed our trailer, but we're ready to get in with this pilot. So, Emma, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about a lot.
So here's how we're going to do most of our episodes. So first, we're going to do our newsy bit, as we said in our trailer. So this week, our newsy bit is MSU is making changes on campus based on students' opinions and requests, and also due to some reflector articles that we've had published within the past couple of years. So we're really going to dive into that. I'm super excited. I think that MSU has been making a lot of changes this year in particular. So it'll be really interesting to see like how the years pan out with like changes.
Yeah, I've been pretty happy with the changes that they've made so far. I think they're doing a good job of kind of keeping the balance between like input and then just actual what will work, what's feasible.
Yeah. So this week, the article is written by Jordan Brock. It's talking about the changes that MSU is making on campus. And she interviewed Saunders Ramsey, and he is the Campus Services Executive Director. So basically, he kind of gave us an inside look. So if you check out the article, that'll give you a little bit more. But we're going to kind of dive into like the specifics of what changes are going to be happening around campus. So according to Saunders, in about like the next year or so, in front of the Union, there's going to be like a little plaza, a little grassy area. I'm hoping there's going to be some like little tables, like a cutesy umbrella set up. What do you think about that, Emma?
I would really like that. I feel like the drill field right now, they did add tables and stuff when they installed that newer pathway that was closer to the Union, which I think was a good idea.
Yes, it was.
Because otherwise people were just sitting on the ground. And usually it was a soaking ground.
Oh, absolutely. And especially in COVID times, we had to like kind of go outside a little bit more and like space apart. So that was a really good addition. But this being in front of the Union and like the YMCA, because like it's kind of ugly right there. It's just like that road. It kind of like awkwardly ends.
Yeah.
You know, I just like never like know if I can walk on that road or if I should like be wary of like someone running me over. But I think it being grassy and kind of pretty. I don't know. Have you ever seen like Athens, Georgia, like you know where UGA is? Like their downtown area is so pedestrian friendly. I just love that. It's like grassy and cute.
I have not, but anything that's more like pedestrian friendly is always better. So.
I'm so excited for that. So I'm really looking forward to these changes. I only have one more year or a year and a half left here at State, and Emma has...
I have a year and a half as well because I'm going to probably go to grad school here, pending if I get accepted.
Which, I mean, we hope. So we only have a little bit left of time here, but I hope by the time we're done, we'll be able to enjoy it just a little bit. Additionally, kinesiology students, y'all are getting a new building. That's really exciting. We have a lot of kinesiology students. Did you know that?
Yeah, I didn't really know like the caliber of it until I started kind of talking to people, and there's so many people that are in that kind of area.
I wonder, is it like one of our top majors, I think?
It might be.
Besides like engineering, I guess?
Yeah, it might be. I know we're a big kind of engineering and ag school, obviously, so I feel like those are probably pretty up there, but that's definitely, I would probably think the top third of the things up there. So.
I know. When we went to Big Dogs, it's like a retreat for the big dogs on campus. Reflector was part of them. A lot of people I met were kinesiology majors. I was like, all of y'all? I thought it was kind of like a low-key major. Like you were just kind of like just chilling there.
I thought it was just a bunch of guys that want to be coaches, but it turns out it's a lot more than just that. So.
And I don't really know exactly where the new kinesiology building is going to be yet. He didn't quite detail that in the article, but hopefully it'll be, I guess, kind of close to where y'all's building is now. It's pretty central to campus, the McCarthy Gymnasium. It's like kind of behind our office. Yeah.
I honestly didn't know much about that building. I walked by it, but...
Yeah, I don't either. My sister has a class in it, but I just don't know. She says it's a really far walk. She has to walk from Giles all the way over there.
Oh.
I know, that's rough. Oh, and then one other change. So recently, a student was hit while he was walking across the crosswalk on Hardy Road. I'm sure you guys all are familiar with the story. I actually wrote an article about it. But basically, because of a change on our petition that I mentioned in the article, and also, I guess the article itself, I mean, definitely pushed the administration to do all the speed bumps and crosswalks and the more lighting and the three-way stops.
Oh my god.
So,
but those things okay, in the junction, those ugly, they're like black things.
Yes.
All painted on the ground with a stop sign. Those things are ugly.
They're ugly. But the one thing I don't quite understand is, like, why are they so close to the crosswalk? It's like they want you to bump right into the person.
No.
That's what I think. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Maybe it's better for, like, slowing down the impact because it's, like, right up on it. But I'm not totally sure. But anyway, still grateful that we have a more pedestrian-friendly campus. But I think that the changes, like...
I just wish they would have said something about it.
Yes. And
because when they implemented them,
they didn't say much.
didn't see a press release or anything sent out to students. They just kind of appeared overnight. They had like 3 stop signs added, some speed bumps added, and they didn't say anything. So it just kind of came out of nowhere. You're like, oh, there's a stop sign here now. That's
I know.
weird.
And it's really weird because it seems like a lot of times MSU really announces like every little thing they do.
I know, which was why I was like, this is kind of out of character for them.
Yeah, and like now they just kind of like have been slowly popping up over and over the past like few weeks. It seems like every week I drive by a new set of speed bumps or a new 3-way stop or just like something. I'm like, oh, that wasn't here. Wasn't expecting that.
What they need to add is one over by Fresh.
Oh my god!
I have almost died like 4 times there. Even last week, I almost got.
Oh my gosh! I've heard so many people. No, my freshman year, I swear, there's like 4 people who were almost hit at Fresh.
I had to jump backwards so I wouldn't get hit.
That is so scary.
I was just trying to come back from my communication class.
Isn't that where the Commuter West parking lot is? Like right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like a heavily trafficked area.
I was walking to my car and I was going across. I had looked both ways and I thought this person was gonna stop, but they sped up and like floored it and then almost ran me over.
Oh my god, that's so scary. What we really need is more...
I won't say what sorority they're in, but...
T. What we really need though, and what I really, I guess, want to push for is more like street lights. Actual street lights to light up the entire street. Because I can't see when I'm driving. I have to concentrate so hard at night to drive.
You know, they started implementing those ones that were kind of bluish light.
Yeah.
But I don't like that color
No, I just think a simple street light, just add a few more of those, especially in front of Old Main and when it goes up that hill. That hill is a danger zone. I have to drive like 5 miles an hour because I'm scared I'm going to hit somebody that's like walking out of like the dorms right there. That, if I could see like a couple street lights right there, I would be a happy lady.
There's also just like a bunch of crosswalks around campus that don't make sense. Like the ones in the Union Circle that are in between like a bunch of cars and you can't see them until you're literally about to be in the crosswalk.
Yeah.
So you don't have any time to like slow down.
It's so odd. But then there are not crosswalks where there should be. So hopefully MSU, like parking and traffic, we're getting off on a tangent, but hopefully, through this article, it just shows me that they really care. And we're going to kind of talk about the opinion side of this because a few weeks ago, one of Emma's opinion writers wrote an article about how the drill field needs to be adjusted so it's more pedestrian friendly. So we'll segue kind of into like what Emma thinks about this.
So my writer, Luke Copley, he wrote an article about just kind of adding more pathways that actually make sense. And kind of go how students actually walk, so it makes it easier, because there's a lot of awkward paths that you have to walk straight, and then you go at a right angle, and then other things. So just, I don't remember the exact term he said for it, but it was like they had done studies on it, and multiple universities like across the country have done kind of research on that it works, and you should do pathways like that. And, I mean, they've added pathways from time to time. You can tell that some people have cut through, but there's still a lot more room for adjustments. And just, he also mentioned, like, about just kind of adding trees and stuff, and also just kind of reworking the irrigation for that, because
it's always soggy in there.
It's disgusting. You try and walk across it and you sink like a couple inches.
So I think more pathways is good. Honestly, I walk through the grass a lot of the time because I'm just trying to like book it somewhere because I'm always late. So I'm just like always running somewhere. But running through the grass, I don't know if y'all know this, but it's bad for the environment. I saw a video about it, but basically it like just obviously kills all that grass, which is not good for the grass that was living there. So I always feel guilty about it, but I still do it, of course. A true American spirit.
Why do you think they have the keep off the grass sign in like multiple languages from Princess Diaries? Duh.
Well, anyway, so they are starting these changes pretty soon. I've already seen them planting trees, and I know last Arbor Day they did that little tree planting project, and it's already looking a lot cuter around campus. If we could just stop all the endless construction, especially down there by McComas, by the Rula building and by the
yeah.
band hall. That area has been a mess since I was a freshman. So I'll be happy when I graduate if that is cleared up, or at least looking like it's about to be, but whoever knows. And of course blackjack, but that's a whole other topic. We can go more into that once we get more details. But so that was our big story of the week, a little bit shorter than we normally are going to shoot for, but this week I didn't write a big news article, and we also kind of wanted to keep it a little bit light and more of student interest just for our first kind of piece. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to talk about what didn't make it in the paper this week.
So we had a couple of things that came up. There is a new mask requirement that came out recently. They first had one that you had to wear it everywhere at the beginning of the semester, and they talked about
everywhere
eventually
inside.
kind of moving that away. So now, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear it in certain spaces.
Yeah, like in buildings mainly. So they're saying in classrooms and in lab type situations, you have to wear a mask. You know, when you're not setting.
Classrooms, labs,
and there's like this one random thing I can't remember. Oh, okay, yeah, studios. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, but you don't have to wear them in the buildings anymore if you're vaccinated. That's the key word, if you're vaccinated. But I swear half the people, or actually most of the people, probably are not.
That's where it gets kind of tricky, is because when you start adding things like if you're vaccinated, there's no way to prove that unless you always carry around your vaccination card.
Yeah, who's asking these people?
Nobody will.
Yeah.
They just have to say that to kind of cover themselves.
Yeah. But
we said that you had to be vaccinated, so.
Yeah, but it is more chill. You know, we've only had about 8 cases in the past week or so it's been a lot better. I still keep mine on the building just because it's cold outside, honestly. It makes my nose warm. But we'll see. Maybe next semester.
We were joking, and it's like, COVID doesn't exist in the hallways.
Yeah, like, okay, cool. But it suddenly
make
appears in the class. It doesn't make much sense if you think about it. But I do understand them wanting to loosen stuff, but they're kind of scared to kind of let the whole floodgates go.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how you don't have to wear one at the union where there's like 1 billion people, but like in a classroom of 16 people, you have to wear one. That's just my big thing, I guess.
I think it's kind of more of a respect thing for the professors.
Yeah,
Since they can choose not to go to the union, but they can't choose not to go to their classes.
That's true.
So.
That makes sense. Well, we want to care about them too. I have a lot of older professors. Love them. Love their work. Dr. Strout. Love that man. So next, that was kind of a more chatty subject. Briefly, there's like a third medical freedom protest that was on the drill field on Tuesday. We chose not to cover that just because Hannah Blankenship and I already wrote 2 articles about the previous protest. So anyway, I'm assuming they had a great protest. They're a pretty enthusiastic bunch.
We actually covered it together.
Oh yeah, we
the second one.
Our multimedia debut. Honestly, doing that kind of also fueled the pod.
It did.
And just realizing that me and Emma made such a good team, I was like, wow, we can really just like do this.
Yeah, we were zooming around on the drill field. It was great.
I know, she was listening to my instructions. It was great. Good times. And also, so there was a shooting in the Highlands a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember that shooting that happened?
Yeah, and they had like a kind of a little bit of a chase, quote unquote.
Yeah, so they had chased him onto the highway and stuff. So at first we didn't know any details much at all. Like we only knew hearsay. We didn't really get any police reports or anything. It was kind of like a big investigation case. But I read the headline of a Starkville Daily just briefly in passing, and I guess they caught the guy. So I'll do some more research on this for the next week, and I'll let you guys know any updates. But check out the Starkville Daily's article about it. I'll link it below. Hopefully it'll be published online. I tried to find it before this.
Yeah, at the start of it, I know that it was a lot of people just kind of talking on Yet.
Yes.
Trying to figure out
what
the
neighbor
was happening.
apps.
And then eventually Starkville PD released a tweet that said that they had gotten the person, and it was on Highway 12, and like some people that were on the club soccer team with me sent a picture. It was like, there's a bunch of cops surrounding this person.
So that was kind of a chase because the Highlands is out there, you know, almost toward the Columbus exit.
They didn't make it very far.
Yeah.
They really didn't make it that far. So, but
it's just wild.
I believe they got the guy, or at least the one that they suspected to be.
It's just so sad that, I mean, all these shootings and stuff like that, and all the crime that's been happening this year. We'll keep you all updated on that. Kind of a heavy topic, but I don't really know much more than just kind of the brief synopsis. And then one kind of like fun one is on University Drive in the district, there's going to be an Asphalt Art Initiative project. It's going to be really bright, cute, colorful art on the asphalt on the cement, and it's going to be really pretty. I'm excited about that. I love when they use students' artwork and they let students do stuff like that. It's going to be a like student kind of thing, MSU students. So I really love when they do that. Also, last spring, one of my writers, I believe Hannah might have written it, Blankenship, but she wrote an article about a mural being painted on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? Like down?
That's it's over by the old Cadence Bank, I think.
Yeah, so that mural that was painted, that's like from downtown to MSU or whatever. So one of the guys who was painting that, Marcus, he's one of my friends from debate. Well, apparently because of that article, someone read that and was like, oh, Marcus Williams, I'm going to hire him to paint a mural for the city pool. I was like, okay.
That's so cool.
Okay, Reflector. But anyway, it is so important just to highlight local artists. So
I always love when they have art pop up.
Yes, I'm so
especially
excited.
Like over by Two Brothers Barbecue, that circle that it's
Yes,
like a
I love
sun,
those like sun things.
Some type of Native American sun. I think it was a Choctaw maybe.
Yeah, probably
Choctaw
so.
sun. And
Yeah,
it looks
I
really
like
cool
those a
there.
lot. And it just fits the whole vibe of the district. I really love how cohesive it is over in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Very cutesy.
That's all for what didn't make the paper this week. Next up, we have Opinion Corner with Emma.
Woo!
To start off our talking in the Emma's Opinion Corner, quote, quote, we're going to talk about my hot take for the week. So, what is the proper way to make a peanut butter and jelly? My hot take is that you put peanut butter on both sides and jelly in the middle and sandwich it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Guys, I did not have a heated opinion about our last hot take, but this one, let me just explain why that's wrong. A, that is way too much peanut butter.
No, it's not. You do it
gets
thin,
all
so
up in your mouth.
Nah. See, you put it there so it holds all the jelly together so it doesn't make your bread soggy.
But that's kind of the best part is the soggy bread. Yes, it
Just
is. I love it when
gross.
it seeps into the bread.
Nasty.
I like it. I think it's good. I think it's really good. But anyway,
Do you like crunchy peanut butter?
yeah. But I buy smooth, but I do like crunchy. So the way I make my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which is the right way.
Oh, okay.
So you get your bread, and then on one side you do peanut butter, not too, kind of a medium layer, not thin, not thick. I don't want it to be globbed on there because I don't want it all in my throat. Like I just want to.
You don't want to like choke and die.
Yeah, because like peanut butter is so like, anyway. So I mean, y'all cannot even see me, but.
She's making a lot of gestures with her hands right now.
I'm trying to paint this picture. So then on my second slice, I just slap it with jelly. And I love a lot of jelly. I really put that jelly on there. I like the jelly to be like dripping onto the plate. And I love jelly. I have a really big sweet tooth. So it really like makes the peanut butter so much better. And then it doesn't stick all up in your mouth. And it's just delicious. That is the correct way.
Mine doesn't even stick in your mouth. It's the perfect thing. It keeps it all together, and then you get.
But you don't
a
have
hit
enough
of
jelly in your
you
world.
can put a decent amount of jelly in it, and it holds it in there so it doesn't seep out.
You gotta have it seeping out, and you gotta like rub your crust in the jelly that seeped down on the plate.
Okay, everybody, Heather's wrong.
I'm right.
If you agree with me or you agree with Heather, feel free to comment.
Yes, we can do a poll on the Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify or I believe Anchor, take our poll. Who is right? Emma with her weird both peanut butter layers and mine with them separate as they should be.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sure.
I could not let this podcast episode pass by without briefly mentioning ABBA Voyage. What a journey. I wrote an article about it for the Life and Entertainment section this week. I loved it. I just think it is so reminiscent of old ABBA, and I talk all about it in the article, so I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all read that, but please listen to it, especially if you love, disco, if you love ABBA, you'll love this album. It's so good.
Is it very Mamma Mia vibes? Or would you say it's
it could be
a fresh take kind of deal?
No, it reminds me of ABBA Voulez-Vous album and Super Trooper,
Okay.
mixed together. It is so good, full of high highs and low lows. Just great. Love their work. They have had such a long and successful career, even though they paused, I guess, but they still were successful in those pausing years. But anyway.
Love ABBA.
Love them.
Group.
Iconic.
Love that for you.
Thank you.
I have to listen to them still. I still hadn't listened to that new album.
I've been listening to it all day because I had to write that article.
That's
because I was like, I need to really feel every song.
Yes, of course. Well, I have to do that. I suggest y'all check it out too. So this past weekend, I went home. And I got to see my family and my mom,
family.
My brother.
Wait. Someone just decided to rev their truck?
Why?
We are recording a podcast.
Thank you.
We are being boss babes. The other day, Tanner called me a boss babe, and I was like, absolutely not. He was like, what do you want to be called? Boss lady? Boss girl? I was like, No, absolutely
Just
not.
not.
So he was like, okay, I'll be the boss lady. I was like, okay, I can be the boss guy.
Okay. That suits more anyway.
The boss dude. I don't know. I just, do not call me a boss lady.
Okay. So next up, we're going to talk about Miss Stream Queen, also known as me.
Yes.
So this past weekend, I went home and I got to see my family.
Where is home?
So home for me is Madison, Mississippi.
We're actually from kind of around, well, I'm not from Madison. I'm from like 50 minutes south in Hazelhurst, Mississippi, but we're close-ish.
Yeah, we're from the general Jackson-ish
Yeah,
area,
I always say I'm from the Jackson area. They're like, oh, Jackson.
I just say the Jackson metro area usually because I haven't always lived there my whole life.
The Jackson metro area.
So it keeps it broad and like I know most of that kind of area anyway. So
yeah, no, I got you.
People know the capital of Mississippi. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, so I went home and my brother and my mom and we decided we wanted to go see a movie. And so Spencer 2021 with Kristen Stewart came out.
I had no idea that was even a thing.
So I had been seeing stuff about it on Twitter. I kind of keep up a little bit with the royals, but it's only because I've watched The Crown.
Wait, what does this to do with the royals?
Oh, this is Diana. Princess Diana.
What?
Yeah, her maiden name is Spencer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
so, this is
never mind. I'm gonna go see this.
So I highly recommend. So I guess I should have led with that.
Yes, you should have led with that. That's the best part.
Anyways, so yes, it's Princess Diana.
Okay.
And Kristen Stewart plays her in kind of, I would say, the nearing end of her life.
Okay.
The film takes place around Christmas, and they go to this house where all the royals kind of go for about a little bit of time. I don't know how exactly long it was, but
there are no calendars.
It's like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. They packed a decent truckload to go there, and so they go there, and they're all for some reason they have to weigh themselves.
What?
Before the thing, because it's a tradition that you have to put on at least 10 pounds after it.
Oh, because they have such like a rich, extravagant meal. Oh.
So they had it was a tradition going back to several generations. They've been around forever. And one of the things that Diana kind of struggled with was an eating disorder. So that really kind of triggered her to start. And she's like, do we really have to do that?
Yeah.
And so the whole thing, it just kind of focuses on her inner turmoil.
Oh.
And it's a really neat way how they kind of shoot it. It's kind of, it almost is like a psychological kind of thriller type deal, how they kind of do it. But it's also you laugh with them. You still feel for everybody. And
I like that.
There were some parts that I was like, really? Too. So it was just a fresh take of, I think, everything else that's been covered about her. I think it was a very interesting way. And I thought she did a great job.
Really?
Before this, I'm not going to lie. I didn't really love Kristen Stewart's acting. She is known for Twilight. Most people know her from that. Yeah. And honestly,
99% of people.
Meryl Streep couldn't make Twilight good. So their writing is just not great.
I mean, that's just a known fact, honestly.
It's not great. A lot of people
you just watch it for the trashy value.
Yes. So I've only ever watched it not sober. So and even then it was barely tolerable for me.
I don't think I've ever seen Twilight, actually.
I don't think you should.
I don't know how I've avoided it. Really,
it's not great. If you like Twilight, sorry, you're wrong. So she was in that. That's how most people kind of knew her.
I don't know, not to be rude, but she was never an interesting actress.
She wasn't. The whole thing
she's just
everybody.
Bland.
Yeah, people always joked about that on the internet. Is what makes Kristen Stewart smile. And then there was a picture of her at Hooters. It's God. That's what makes her smile, apparently. But so she went through all that, and eventually she started getting in some films that actually had a little bit more acting, I would say, in them. So she was in Charlie's Angels. It was a very fun movie.
The recent one? I loved that one.
It was a very fun movie. She played a fun character. I thought she had
It was a little bit better.
It wasn't monumental acting. It was definitely just a fun movie.
Yeah.
But she did a good job in it.
Yeah, it was just a fun movie.
There was one called Underwater where she kind of had her head shaved for it, and it's obviously set underwater. It's also kind of a thriller type deal, but it didn't make much sense at all.
I haven't seen that one.
It was basically trying to do aliens from deep, because they're on the ground of the ocean, and it wasn't that great. She was good at being all action and stuff, but all there was action. You didn't really feel for the characters.
Yeah.
So That was fine. And then there was this one called The Happiest Season.
Emma's expression right now, guys, it's paining her to say
I really
this.
wanted to like it. I really did. Because it had a chick called Mackenzie Davis, and she was in San Junipero for Black Mirror, and I really loved her in that. And she's been in some other stuff, like the Terminator stuff recently, and she did a great job. But for this one...
Wait, was this a Netflix original?
I don't think it was on Netflix.
Oh, okay, because if it was, then I'm like, well, what were you expecting?
I don't think it was on Netflix.
Okay,
I expected it to be bad, but I at
Ooh.
least watched it because I was just going to see what it was
Yeah,
about.
you want to check it
Because
out.
it had a decent, okay cast.
Yeah.
And it was
Potential.
It was not good.
Oop.
Well, it had Dan Levy, I think is how you say it, from Schitt's Creek.
Oh, yeah.
And he did a great job. Love him. He played himself, basically.
Cool.
But it was...
Does he never not play himself?
Pretty much, yeah. So he was fun. And then, this is actually not her first biopic that she did. She did...
I thought it was biopic.
I don't know. Whatever it is.
Well, either way.
She played Joan Jett in The Runaways.
Oh.
And she starred with Dakota Fanning in that.
Okay, to me, Dakota and Elle Fanning and Kristen Stewart, when I was a kid, I could not tell them apart.
Really?
Yes, I don't know why, but the three of them, I just could not wrap my mind around that they all existed. They all looked very similar but different. Two of them were siblings and one of them was completely unrelated. I was like, where does this all fit?
As a child, my mom used to say I looked like Dakota Fanning.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't see it. But I was like, sure, Mom.
Sure, whatever you say.
Anyway, so the film was really good. I thought she did a really good job, and I won't be surprised if she gets nominated for an Oscar for it.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was great. And plus,
Okay, Kristen.
the fashion for it, she slayed the whole time.
Okay, Kristen Stewart having a comeback, are we?
It was very good. Like, there wasn't, like, those parts where you look and you're like, that's Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, that's
You
cool.
would look and you're like, that's Diana.
Wow. Okay, speaking of Diana, so what about this like resurgence and all this royal stuff with all the interviews and all the documentaries? Are people tired of it? Do we want more?
So I think there was a brief phase that people kind of got tired of the royals for a little bit. But I think with The Crown, people kind of got to see
People
more.
love The Crown.
Okay, so The Crown kind of dives into the inner lookings of what happens, the behind the scenes that you don't know. So I think a lot of more people kind of started to sympathize with them.
My mom loves The Crown.
To a little bit. And then you realize how terrible they are as well.
Yeah.
So, but I think that kind of started the resurgence of people's interest.
That was
in
a few
it.
years ago, but it's like been going throughout.
I think it was 2015 or something.
But I think what really started it was just everything with Meghan.
So she started the real drama. And then that's when everybody was like, oh, we're going to jump on this boat. And so that's when they had like the Oprah interview and other just kind of documentary stuff come from it. And just everybody started eating it up.
Yeah, I think people are kind of on the back of it, but I think people are going to like this movie. I mean, Princess Diana is probably everyone's favorite.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
So,
no doubt.
I expect to see some, I guess, ratings, good reviews. I don't know why I haven't heard of this.
I think it's been getting pretty good reviews. I honestly didn't look it up because I try not to look at people's reviews before I see a movie because then I'm already going to have kind of a bit of what's going to happen and I don't want to do that. So I try to give it a chance basically before I go and see it. But 10 out of 10, definitely recommend. It was very good. Go see it.
Maybe I will. $5 Tuesdays at the Starkville Movie Theater.
Yeah, it was great. And we had like the reclining chairs, so it was
Oh,
better.
nice. Was it at Tinseltown?
Nah, this was
the Madison Movie Theater?
it just had Grandview, Malcolm Grandview. They
Nice.
renovated it, I think, over COVID and stuff, so they actually have...
Yeah, because they used to not have it, even though they have the nicest theater, but then Tinseltown had the relaxed seats, so I was like, okay, Tinseltown over Madison, but that's a game changer.
They're doing better, so...
Sorry if y'all don't understand if you're not from the Madison area, I guess, but...
Sorry, not sorry.
So now, let's talk about something crazy.
So, I actually came across this from this weekend. One of my best friends came over to hang out while I was at home, and she told me about this story because some of her coworkers knew this person.
Oh my gosh!
So what happened is this lady from Pillahatchee, her name is Jessica Leanne Sledge. She was arrested this week, which this was November 4th when they published it, for attempting to hire a hitman to kill her husband.
This is the craziest part, using Bitcoin and WhatsApp. This is according to a WLBT article, we'll link it down below, written by Anthony Warren. using Bitcoin and WhatsApp. Now, to me, just the fact of someone in Mississippi that's not like a egotistical business guy using Bitcoin, that like blows my mind, first of all. Like, I just, like, being here my whole life, like, people aren't like that.
Also, she's from Pelahatchie. As you know, that is typically a more
that's like outside of Brandon,
type area. So I didn't think she would really, not to be like stereotypical, but
actually we're stereotyping Mississippians. But honestly, we just don't like keep up with like that type of currency. A lot of people use cash.
Much about it.
No, neither do I. So. Exactly. So it's just odd. But hiring a hitman. So let's talk a little bit more about that.
So according to the investigator, she made 3 Bitcoin payments totaling $10,000 for a murder for hire.
And she did this quick.
She did it quick. She did one on October 4th, October 9th, October 10th.
And I guess she was going to, she finally contacted him and was ready to move forward with the murder. But the hitman turned out to be an undercover agent.
Yes. So it turned out to be an FBI agent that she was talking to.
He had contacted Sledge on October 22nd, the article says, and they had multiple conversations over the next few days about murdering the victim. So I guess, she had made the payments to, I guess, just a murder for hire site or like avenue, because it's saying that she didn't get into contact with him until the 22nd.
Yeah.
So I'm not totally clear on that, but either way, I mean, Miss Girl, you messed up. And now I wonder how long she's going to jail for.
I'm not sure.
That is insane.
They said her trial is supposed to be, or the hearings are supposed to be slated for Monday.
Oh, we skipped the craziest part. Murder for hire.
Yes, murder for hire.
Oh, we focused on the Bitcoin, but the murder for hire, I feel like you just don't hear about that as much anymore.
Not really in Mississippi
that's like
either.
Some 1800s stuff.
Like, or that's like something that you see like happening in like a bigger city like New York.
Yeah, or like with some, like a big big person, like a
like a big important person,
not
just
someone's husband. Yeah, usually people just find a way.
It was I just saw that and I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's
not
crazy.
Nearby, like that's pretty nearby for like where I am from. I grew up in Rankin County, so I'm not too far from there. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's wild.
That is so crazy. I hadn't run across that. But again, that's from WLBT, written by Anthony Warren. We'll link that down below for you guys to read on your own. And that's the end of our episode.
That is it for our first episode, official episode.
Our pilot episode. Thanks so much, guys, for listening. As always, we want to go ahead and plug our social media.
Yes. So we are at On The Scene Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yes, and we are also, you can email us if you'd like to be a guest or if you have any hot takes or any questions at onthescenepod@gmail.com. Or if you just have any commentary, I guess. And you can follow us on our personal social media accounts. We will link those down below as well. And keep up with us on Spotify, Anchor.fm. We'll post YouTube videos periodically, just whenever we have a special guest or just any other certain occasion. But every week we'll be here on Anchor, Spotify, and hopefully soon Apple Music or Apple Podcasts as soon as they approve us.
Yeah, we're currently in the process of getting that.
So don't worry.
You have to submit it for approval, so it takes a little bit, but we will get there as soon as possible.
We'll get to you guys soon. And follow The Reflector as well. They publish we publish every single Wednesday.
Yeah, they also known as us.
In case you didn't know, I'm the news editor of The Reflector, and Emma is the opinion editor, so we want to go ahead and plug them and give them a follow on their social media as well. And that's the end of our episode.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for watching.
Tune in next Thursday for our next episode.
Yes, tune in next Thursday. Bye, guys.
Bye.